Pokemon Science and Magic, Chapter 6.
After finally arriving in Heron City, we made
beating
our
up
way
the
to
professor,
the Battle Palace, where we met up with Professor Salix and Thor. There, not only
we
did
had a
we
lot of
learn the truth
exposition
about these armor-charged Pokemon, but we also learned that Team Ragnarok is trying to gather multiple scrolls that have been scattered throughout the region. Now, after a bit of a complicated battle with one of our rivals, Loki, we are heading to Frostbit Falls to see if we can get another one of these scrolls and prevent it from falling into Team Ragnarok's hands.
Fingers crossed.
Will we manage to get there? Welp, let's find out today.
I have much else to say. How do you respond to that? You already summed up everything I could have summed up. Man, I am 2 weeks behind on this series. Then again, it's better to be behind and be ahead, I guess. Because then I have to do everything immediately. And it gives S-Code more time to, you know, stay ahead. I'm like an anime behind the manga source material. Just trying to stay behind it as much as possible. Wait for that filler episode.
If you have no further business in Heron City and wish to progress with the story, you will have to move on to Route 6. Woo! Sorry lads, it's just, well, the original Pokemon Science and Magic never progressed this far, so... well, in terms of the story of the region, so, I don't know, I'm a little excited to show off what's coming up next. Anyway,
hey, we're the new stuff. Well, everything, a lot of stuff here has been new, but you know what I mean.
In order to get to Thrush City, which is in the mountains. So not only can you expect to find a good chunk of hikers trying to climb this mountain, but, of course, it's obviously a good spot to find some new Pokemon. So, what do you say we dig around a bit and see if there's any other members we would like to add to our team? Also, I should mention that since there's nothing stopping you from coming to this route before progressing with the story, you can technically come here first if you want to catch a new Pokemon before you go through everything we just went through in the last episode, including the Guild Master should you want to challenge him. Anyway, a very common sight you will find on the mainland is the returning Renestone, the Prophecy Pokemon.
I completely forgot about this thing.
No one really quite knows where these guys came from, but they're as old as the region itself, and are said to foretell the future with the mysterious markings that are painted all over their body. Each Renestone has a different marking, and a different set of markings.
And you have to get down to 49 HP in order to drive under a hoop.
Should you be able to translate what those markings mean?
That's not, when I first found out how the Galarian Yamask evolved, I was like, what?
This is Joggoat, the Fun Run Pokemon. As that title implies, these Pokemon have a need for speed.
Are these like the,
Gotta go fast!
Oh shoot!
Are these like this versions of Go-Goat?
Oh, my spine!
Ugh,
when I first heard the Galarian Yamask, my first thought was,
well,
this sounds like Game Freak made those old, like, mute under a truck things canon.
Pokemon, always trying to one-up one another through races. In fact, they're so competitive that they'll actually burn out their own electric aura in order to try and beat one another, draining their electrical powers completely. Luckily, they have evolved a parasitic ability, which allows them to absorb electricity through their special antlers. However, due to their competitive nature, this has led them to steal electricity from other electronic devices,
and there's the parasite
and even drain the electricity of other electric Pokemon. Lastly, these Pokemon have a new special ability called First Strike, which boosts Joggoat's physical attacks so long as it's able to hit first.
So if you,
and trust
me,
me,
just saying, like,
Pokemon
extreme speed, quick attacks, stuff like that.
Will hit first.
Oh, dude, Glanmeow is faster than Latios and Latias. It's fine.
Rocks and energetic goats aren't your fancy, don't worry.
There's
still a handful of other Pokemon that you can find on this route. And trust me, for a rocky hill like this, there's a
Damn
lot.
it, why am I yawning so much?
So, diving right into it, all the Pokemon that you can find on this route other than these two are Woolert, which you can actually encounter for the first time.
Interesting.
Krytonium Centret, Ferris Wheel, Krytonium Baneri, Huscout, Jumpiter, Trollbull, and Shrooterroll. In terms of the oldies, we've got Nosepass, Dwebble, Torkoal, Spinda, Clubopus, Boldor, Onix, Wingull,
Onix is a
Skiddo,
staple.
Jigglypuff, Fletchinder, and Drifloon.
Interesting.
Well, that's certainly a lot of Pokemon,
Yeah.
isn't it? However, in terms of newbies, we're not quite done here yet. By the looks of things, some more of your Pokemon are ready to evolve.
Ooh.
So, let's see who you're adding to your team this time.
Huscout's evolving. Ooh. Huscalper. Interesting. I like how it has like a little Bo Peep thing in the back.
Congratulations, because at level 24, your Huscout will evolve into Huscalper, the Scout Pokemon. These wolves are determined creatures of ice
I know it's
and
supposed to be
snow,
like one of those
and
hoodies,
remarkably
like a
loyal to
hoodie that has
mankind.
those things at the ground.
Their
But my
self-dedication
brain
to help
goes to
them
Little Bo
means
Peep,
that
and I
they
don't know
will go
why.
through any blizzard and pull any load without hesitation.
Oh, it's Balto.
In colder parts of the region, and more uninhabitable ones, people will keep Huscalper with them as rescue Pokemon. Oh, and in case you're wondering about those ice heels
Yeah, I
on
was
the back
thinking
of their
about
feet,
that actually.
should Huscalper lay down, it can actually use those heels to slide across the ground.
Really?
In other words, it's a literal dog sleigh. It doesn't even
Interesting.
need snow, considering how slippery those heels are.
Wow. This one could be a ride Pokemon itself. Ooh. Viceranine. Yeah, it looks like an Emboar. Or Pignite, rather. It'll be there within the late stages. Oh, Jesus.
Congratulations! At level 26, your Viscerine will have evolved into Gritterine, the Wolverine Pokemon.
He's even got
Due
the,
to inhabiting scrapyards
Wolverine
to help cut down
things.
metal, Gritterine had got themselves a metal jacket to help keep them warm. On top of
Adamantium
being a lot
Rage!
more aggressive than their pre-evolution, they're also a bit more reckless and cocky as well, leading them to cause a few accidents with they're a lot more sharper and more
I'm imagining if there was a
claws.
Pokemon anime for this series. I just would love it instead of it saying its name, it just constantly goes bub, 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 bub. Why not? Not every Pokemon in the Pokemon anime says its name, some just roar. Oh, the one I only found out somewhat recently that the Ursaring in that Paul's Ursaring in Diamond and Pearl. You might notice it never said its name. That's because it's saying its Japanese name of like gimme or something like that. Because it always starts with like it's saying gimme, gimme, gimme. It's saying its Japanese name, but I guess I like to imagine that for because you're like,
Congratulations,
it's a
because
bear.
at
Who
level
cares?
22, your Jumpiter will have evolved into Springarak, the spring bug Pokemon. Thanks to its
Is it the same?
retractable spring legs, this Pokemon is able to jump over massive
It looks like it has one of those like
which is a
things that
perfect
people
mechanism if
use
you
to
want
like
to
jump
escape
high
some
in
powerful
cartoons and stuff. They
predators.
can never find in
In
real
fact,
life.
because of this ridiculous jumping capability, people will often put their Springaracks in a special fun run to see who can jump from one part of the region to the next, the longest and the quickest.
Jumpiter already jumped
The
into outer
greatest record
space.
holder
Fuck
being
jumping
a
to other
Springarack
regions.
which once jumped from one side of the region to the other.
Some pirates jumped into space! That
Always
was
glad to know
impressive!
that our arsenal of Pokemon
Oh,
is
that's a
growing
folk tale.
stronger
There's no
every
evidence of
day.
it being true.
And we'll definitely be excited to see more of our Pokemon evolve in the future. However, these guys aren't the only sights to see around this rocky area. If we explore deep enough, we might be able to find a separate pathway. I mean, of course, we're supposed to be heading off to Frostbit Falls, but I suppose a detour to...
Law of gaming. If the game says
Let's check it
story
out,
is this
shall we?
way, go the other way. They're stuck that way.
Oh, so this was down that separate pathway. Wow. I wasn't expecting to see something like this. Not only will these old ruins be a neat distraction for you to check out while you're traveling on your journey, but you'll also be able to find some more Pokemon around here, including some more newbies which you might want to add to your team. Starting things off, we have Hammer, the Lightning Strike Pokemon. If he looks familiar to you, that's because he is the pre-evolved form of Hammeredge. You know, the Pokemon that Thor used.
We gotta
He
bring
will evolve into Hammeredge if you level him up during an electric terrain. Hammer were said to start appearing after the days of the Krytonium War.
Got a hit ability
and are
about
said
the
to be
surge, so it can
fueled
make
by
its
the
own
spirits
electric
of those
terrain.
who perished during that conflict. Their spirits said to be fueling this object with overloading electricity, remnants of the energy they once had when they were alive. Another familiar face you can find around here is Marchweed, the damp plant Pokemon. These guys mostly inhabit swamps or overgrown areas such as this. They are ambush predators, using the vines that are attached to their body to create traps, which they lure unassuming Pokemon into before snagging them and drowning them into the swamps below. Or wasting them through other means, considering they can be found here too. As always, if these two don't tickle your fancy, there are a few other Pokemon that you can find here if you dig deep enough. Stuff like Valoraptor, Hoodwing, Aaron, my pal Mimi, Renestone,
Hey Mimikyu, you enjoying the nerf?
Burlysipede, Boldor, Dwebble, Duskull, Haunter, Golurk, and Morlul.
A lot of Pokemon.
Oh. And by the looks of things, it's not just Pokemon that we can find in these old ruins. Look! What in blazes? Oh. Player, right? Well,
Champion.
I wasn't expecting you to come
I
here.
know it was the actual champion.
Actually, now that I think about
it,
I wasn't expecting anyone to come around these parts. Not many people really do. Still though, I do hope you're not wasting your time, and that you and Thor will show up at that temple at Frostbit Falls.
We will.
Huh. Well, I have no trouble believing you. Thor, on the other hand, well, his heart might be in the right place, but let's just say sometimes his head isn't. I wouldn't have even requested him to do this job if I had the choice, but it was our guildmaster that decided this. I just hope he can keep his head straight long enough so he can get this job done.
May I ask what you're doing here? I'm sorry, I ask what you're doing here?
Me? Oh, well, I like to go to places like this when I want to be alone. You know, these ruins are actually the remains of a fortress that used to be around during the Krytonium War.
Remember the Alamo.
The region is filled with places like this to remind us of our scarred past. And to remind me of mine.
What do you mean?
Oh, my apologies. Places like this remind me of my old home. And they also remind me what our guilds are fighting for. A better and more peaceful region. I just wish that the rest of the world could share this gift. Could you imagine that? A world with complete harmony. A world with global peace. Wouldn't that be the dream?
Emil stares his arm in silence.
Anyway, considering the fact that you actually managed to find this place, I think you're deserving of a little treat. Here, take this, just this once.
Oh, we're care candy.
Now then,
I thought it was going to give us a
you better
bionic
get off to
arm.
Frostbit Falls. Thor, as well as one of our guild members, should be waiting for you. I would personally love to assist, but I have other matters to attend to. I'm sure you lot can handle it, though.
Ah, now we're in Thrust City. I know it's something that was a joke.
Once
I
you have
just wanted to
finally
be
made your
horny,
way up
okay,
the route,
bonk?
things will start to get chilly again as you enter Thrush City. This festive little spot doesn't really have much to offer outside of the Pokemon Center and a handful of side quests that you can do here. However, it is a very joyful town, thanks to the famous wood carving shop that you can find in this location.
Ooh, that's
as
fancy.
well as Frostbit Falls, which is the reason why most people decide to come to this place. The only other thing that catches people's eyes around here is this town's Pokemon Guild. Or rather, Pokemon Guilds, should I say. You see, similar to Pokemon Sword and Shield, there'll be a different Pokemon Guild here, depending on which version of the game you're playing.
Interesting.
Now, in canon, there's technically 2 Pokemon Guilds here, but you'll only be able to access one, and again, it depends on which version of the game you have. So, for the sake of this video, let's take a look at both guild members and see what they have to offer. Ooh, this one looks nice and homey. Guild A is the most popular of the two, and, if we're being honest, the most fancy looking. A lot of it appears to be filled with wood-carved props and material.
Heck.
So much so, it pretty much acts like a maze which you'll need to go through if you want to face this guild master.
Interesting. A maze.
Well, it looks like
It's
we
like
have a
Appleton.
visitor here. Pleasure to meet you, lad. My name is Fergus, and welcome to my humble guild. Forgive me if it's a little cluttered. I like to work on my other projects here.
Do you know the apple isn't
Anita
part of
Queen will be
Appleton's
coming
body?
soon, though. They're going to pick this lot up
You can
and
get out
sell
of
it
the apple
throughout
form
the
and always
entire
that
region.
3D model
I
outside
guess
of-
I could have taken
Somebody
a
knows
break.
into Pokemon Snap,
But
but it's
I
actually
can't
that
help
Game
it.
Freak always
Wood
had the
sculpturing is in my
3D image
blood,
of what it looks like
just as
naturally.
I would imagine that Pokemon training is within yours. Speaking of which, if you've come this way to join our guild, I am sorry, but I'm afraid we won't be accepting new members at the moment. We are full as it is.
Actually, I came to battle, if that's alright.
Is that so? Well, that won't be a problem at all, my lad. I've battled many young trainers like yourself before, and seeing the smiles on their face as they connect with their Pokemon, it's just as lovely as handing out toys in my workshop to those young'uns. Oh, it reminds me of the old days. I remember seeing a similar smile to my nephew. You might know him. His name is Milo, and he's from my old home in Galar.
Nice.
Oh, the wee lad was a gentle giant, but
I love
he
the
had a
fact that the
passion for
rock type
Pokemon battling,
gym leader or
and
ground
that
or
was
whatever
enough
is
to
really
make
would have
him
a
a famous
confirmed
gym
mother,
leader.
the ice gym leader.
Oh, I am so proud of that lad. I wonder when I'll be able to see him again. Anyway, I suppose that you would like that battle that you requested. Very well then, I suppose I have the time. Although I can assure you I am no pushover. After all, I am old, not weak. Just like my nephew, I specialize in grass-type Pokemon, and I taught him everything that I knew. After all, the Applin doesn't fall too far from the tree. So let's see what you've got. Ho ho ho! Don't worry, my lad. I'll go easy so you can get started. Go, Marshweed! Like all other guild members before and after, Fergus has a special gimmick that either benefits him or hinders you. In his case, once the battle starts, a grassy terrain will be triggered, and there's no getting rid of it. So you're going to have to do this entire battle whilst that grassy terrain remains on the field.
There is a way to out-shadow tag though, because if you have a ghost type Pokemon, you can actually switch out. Shadow tag doesn't affect ghost types.
I suppose that you're tougher than you look. Go, Livani!
Swarm, Energy Ball, Leech Life, Razor Leaf Synthesis. I see Livani here though, she's a good one.
Respect your elders, why don't you?
I did.
If you keep this up, you're going to break this old heart into pieces. Oh well, I suppose I've comforted you long enough. Go, Appleton!
Let me Energy Ball, Dragon Breath, Apple Acid, Protect.
Congratulations, my lad.
I imagine the other side will use Flapple or whatever.
Oh, congratulations, my boy. I haven't seen a trainer as skilled as you in years. If we had the room, I would be honored to make you a member of our guild. But I know that's probably not where your loyalty lies. You would prefer to be in the company of your own guild. I respect that decision. However, should you ever want to help me out, you are welcome to. If you are unable to find me here, you can find me in the toy shop in town. In the meantime, take this as a little reward.
Energy Ball. Nice.
Wow, what a nice chap. Well, now that we have beaten him, not only have we unlocked more side quests to do around the toy shop, but we'll be able to revisit him and help him out with a few other things he might need some assistance with, such as collecting some wood to help him out with his wood carving, or doing a bit of crafting yourself through some wood carving based mini-games.
Time paradox!
Guild B, on the other hand, is drastically different. It may be the least most popular of the two, but it is the biggest, with plenty of rooms dedicated to research. It pretty much looks like a
shopping mall.
Only in order to find the
one's
guild master
old-fashioned,
here,
the other one's from
you have
the
to
future.
navigate through all these rooms and multiple floors. Actually, now that I think about it, by the looks of all these floors, they appear to be, well, dedicated more to research and science than actually being a functioning Pokemon guild. Oh, fascinating. So if I were to connect this with... What on earth? Where did you spring from? Oh, don't tell me you're another person who wants to join this guild. I've got enough of you clowns to pay as it is.
Actually, I came to battle you.
Battle me? Puh. Newsflash, I don't have time for that. My research takes priority over everything else. Did you know that each Beedrill has a different sting with a different level of pain? I am this close to proving that, but yet Claudes like you have to come along and tell me unimportant and irrelevant stuff that wastes my time.
I think the other game had the better person.
Miss Vanessa.
Oh, hello,
avalanche
near
the Pokemon Center, and we've been tasked to clean it up. Ugh, that's rich.
I go to Red.
More unnecessary distractions. Can't you handle it yourself? I don't pay you to sit around on your lazy butts and do nothing all day. But, ma'am, you hardly pay us at all.
This is Pokemon Science and Magic.
Most
I
of our
imagine
funding
this is
just
the
goes to
Science
research.
exclusive.
Of course it does. My research matters. This job doesn't. I could have made a groundbreaking discovery about bug-type Pokemon right now, and yet, instead of spending my breath saying, Eureka! I'm wasting it on you and him. So go and take care of it. I don't care how you do it, or how long it takes, just do it.
Well,
Oh, finally he's gone. Oh, yeah, of course, you. Now, what did you want again? Oh yeah, right, a Pokemon battle. Well, the short answer is no, I am not giving you your Pokemon battle because I am busy taking care of something that is far more important and far more irrelevant than you.
Far more irrelevant?
Right now, I could have discovered a way to use Skorupi Venom to cure just about any disease that you can think of.
Actually, that's basically
So yeah,
reality, 'cause we
thank
use
you for that.
Scorpion Venom to
Thank you
cure
for
some
wasting my
diseases.
time, and thank
Ironically.
you for ruining other people's lives.
You're welcome.
You could have saved those lives by not wasting my time. So, bye-bye.
I'm not leaving until you battle me, you...
I'm sorry. What did you call me?
Did we just call her the gamer word?
Oh. Okay then. Just for that, you're getting your
I
Pokemon
think this
battle.
will be the first protagonist to ever
I'm
swear.
finished with you. You're going to be crawling home on the ground. Nobody
Or if you want,
has the
or if you
goal
want the idea
to
of them
interrupt
cussing
my
them.
precious research and gets away
You
with
make
it.
Swalot
I am
smell
going
good.
to personally make sure that you go home in a bag.
You're going home in a box. Mr. Vanessa doesn't want to battle you, but has to
Alright,
anyway.
let's just get this over with. Go, Beedrill!
Professor Vanessa was forced into this
In
against
Vanessa's
her will.
case, the battle gimmick which will kick in once this match starts is that an infestation will activate.
Ugh.
Basically, the effect of
It's like fire
infestation
spin.
will trigger on any new Pokemon that you send
Sand
out,
to it, whatever you
infecting
wanna call
them
it.
so Vanessa doesn't have to.
Get a Mega Stone, Princess.
Oh, you clod! I was going to research that later.
Here's an idea for everyone in the comments.
Alright, now
Make
I'm
up
mad.
your own
Go,
Pokemon
Levani!
Renee curse. Oh, she has a Levani too. The curse can be
Look,
whatever you want.
there. You've knocked out
That's
two
what
of my
we can do with
Pokemon.
Pokemon Renee.
Can we just end it? No? Ugh, alright, fine. Here, go
I
be
haven't seen
wisdom.
this much garbage since I last fed my Alolan Muck.
Ooh, finally. It's over.
Even
Okay,
Galarian Weezing can't
there.
deal with your toxic
There's your
trash.
stupid Pokemon battle. Are you satisfied now?
Because you just wasted hours of my work.
Hours?
Which I could have used to benefit the world of bug-type Pokemon. I could
They were
have
bug-type
gotten
Pokemon,
a
honey.
Nobel
They were a
Prize,
lost cause to
a
begin
reward
with.
for uncovering something that we never even knew about bug-type Pokemon before. But instead, I'm wasting it running this stupid scrap heap of a guild.
If you don't like the guild, then why'd you become the guild master?
Simple. How do you think I'm able to fund my research to begin with? The stuff I look into isn't cheap, you know. Running this trubbish fest is my only ticket to getting up there with the people that truly matter.
Fair enough.
Word of advice, kid. Only do the things that you want to do. Anything that you have to do in order to do what you want is irrelevant. Much like this stupid building and this stupid town and all the foolish clods that decided to work here. Now just
Thank you
take
for buying
this
this version
and
of the
get
game.
out of my sight. I have important research to do.
Hey, you got Leech Life.
Sheesh, what crawled into her skin?
Hmm.
Well, regardless, we can come back to this guild anytime we want. Though, not to disturb Vanessa, of course. Not after all that.
Don't be
But
too
you
mad.
can
She
come back here to
tried to
help
use
out
Roost
her
and
poor
one of her
guild
Pokemon,
members
and
with
then
whatever jobs that
and
they
the
were
opponent
doing.
used Snash.
But for
or
now,
Thief.
let's
Unless they
just leave
stole
the
her
jerk
bird
alone
landing.
to wallow in her own misery.
Anyone who gets this reference is a point.
Get prat.
Rude.
Phew, I'd probably need to sleep for a week after a tough guild master battle like that. However, no rest for the weary. We still have to get to Frostbit Falls after all. However, before we get the chance to leave town, it looks like somebody is here to see us. Ah, hello there, player. Glad I could catch up to you. Just thought I'd give you something before you tried raiding that temple over at Frostbit Falls. Take a look at this. This, player, is a charging gauntlet.
What's that do?
It's what trainers use in this region in order to armor charge their Pokemon.
You're giving this to me
At
now?
worst, it'll just give you a once per turn stat boost. But if you use its power on a Pokemon that's holding an armor fragment, well, I think you can imagine what would happen next.
Armored
This
evolution!
gauntlet is essential for channeling your Pokemon's ability to armor charge, as well as controlling it. You'll be able to power up your Pokemon and revert it back to normal anytime during battle.
Nice.
However, fair warning, player. If you are going to armor charge your Pokemon, make sure they don't stay in that form for too long. And make sure to use it sparingly as possible. As I'm sure you're already aware, armor-charged Pokemon are much more powerful than their original forms.
Naturally.
The armor halves all damage they take from normal Pokemon, and they gain access to a 5th supercharged move which they can use once per battle. However, these forms make a Pokemon a lot more aggressive. The longer they remain in them, the more angry and disobedient they become.
Oh, great.
In fact, after a few turns, they'll start disobeying your orders altogether. Luckily, that gauntlet gives you the ability to turn them back to normal any time during battle.
Good.
However, those trainers who are ignorant enough to ignore this comment get severe consequences. Pokemon that remain in these forms for too long become so savage, their trainers lose control of them altogether, and, in most cases, they're chucked out into the wild.
Jeez.
These Pokemon we have dubbed as Berserker Pokemon. They are the result of armor-charged Pokemon which trainers have lost control of, and now seek havoc wherever they go within the wild. It can be a real threat encountering a Berserker during your travels, so make sure to be careful. Luckily, if you do encounter such a Pokemon, I developed just the thing to take care of them. This is a Armor Ball. I built it out of various armor fragments that I have gathered.
Interesting.
It should be able to help you capture those Pokemon quite nicely, and once you do, it will revert them back to their normal forms.
Like a beast ball in a
Not to
sense.
mention, you'll be able to keep their armor fragment for yourself. So make sure you use these balls whenever you do encounter a Berserker.
Don't worry, Professor. I'll be sure to use my balls correctly.
Now, player, do you understand how important it is to keep these armor-charged forms in check?
I do.
Excellent. Then without further ado, I will entrust you with one of these gauntlets, just as I have entrusted 4.
You James Hard Gauntlet.
Oh, speaking of Thor, he wanted me to tell you that he might be late in meeting you in Frostbit Falls. He wanted to do something with Rachel, apparently. I just hope he doesn't take too long. Regardless, I better get back to my studies. Oh, and just one more thing before I forget. If the temple at Frostbit Falls has any interesting information that might aid into what those scrolls do, just let me know. I would love to go there and see it for myself, but I already have too much on my plate as it is. Being both a guild master and a Pokemon professor isn't as easy as you'd may think. Luckily, one of the Double C's highest ranking members will be there, so he'll be able to lend you some assistance. I must be off now, player. Take care. So, now we have the ability to armor charge our Pokemon. Well, Salix did tell us to be careful with it. I think it's best that we listen to his advice. Although, if we do get a grip on this whole armor charging thing, I'm sure it'll definitely come in handy when we decide to raid that temple next time, as our journey through Cryoto continues.
The game has been saved. Well, this was quite the interesting episode. Got to see, face some alternative version gym leaders, get some new Pokemon, and learn more about armor charged Pokemon out there that we can catch Pokemon in armor for, which would be really good for getting these things. I imagine this would be how you get the I guess I'll just like that in a sense, or you know what I mean. Like, you know, it'd be like those items that are like, you can only get this item if you manage to get the 5% chance, like nose pass holding it or some shit like that, you know? It's interesting. They'd probably be rare encounters though, but you know, it'd be worth it when you finally get them. It's getting them in the fucking ball that'll be the hard part. But then again, the ball is made for them, so I imagine this is going to be like Pokeball odds, at least like Ultra Ball. But though I imagine it would be, since they're specifically made for those Pokemon, they probably have the highest chance to catch them. Because technically, you can catch Ultra Beasts in a regular Pokeball. It's just that the Beast Ball is made for them exclusively, so naturally, it's the one that's best for it. You can also catch regular Pokemon in Beast Balls, but you know, stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. No changes to the team, really, so I don't have much to say. Because that could be a lot of changes to the team, unless someone involves or something big comes along. So until then, nothing really. Later.